Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel yet again. If you're looking at this wondering why does this look so familiar, it's because I'm in the same outfit as last time as when I was casting Abjack and Daniel, but this time we're back with a couple of different players. I went to grab myself a little bit of lunch and we are back with what I guess I'll call sort of a mix between a showcase and a show match here. We're not going to count scores, but we do have 3 total matches here. They're all against the same player, but one of the players here is a little bit of someone I've been wanting to show on the channel for a while. So without further ado, here is ElOmarMaton versus Spider. I don't know why it blanked out for a second there and was all black, but we'll take it. You know what? It is fine by me. ElOmarMaton, as I'm going to call him today, Omar, because that used to be his professional name, and he's gone back and forth between switching between the two of them. Omar is a professional 1v1 player in North America, or really I shouldn't say professional 1v1 player, because a lot of people who are at a high level don't like using the word pro if they're not on an RLCS squad or something similar. But in my opinion, Omar is one of the best 1v1 players in North America, and he's been proving that lately by climbing up the rank leaderboard immensely. He's number 60th on the number 60th. He's number 6 on the planet, excuse me, against his opponent here, Spider, who has been dropping out of the top 100 and dropping back in and over and over and over again. Spider, one of those rank grinders who has also not only been grinding rank, but he uploads pretty much every single one of his replays. So if you guys want to give a shout out to Spider, please do go show his channel some support and some love, because a lot of these replays that we see here are literally, most of the replays that I get from Spider are not available without him. He puts up replays of a ton of different players as, ooh, Omar gets a fantastic bump on him. So despite the fact that Spider keeps dropping in and out of the top 100 and, having some difficulty with his consistency, he's a very, very solid player. I've watched him play a lot of different players over the last couple weeks in 1v Wednesdays for Team Meteorite, or for Team Meteor, excuse me, I keep saying Meteorite. But yeah, I've seen him play for Team Meteor a lot, and he's been a very impressive player. I believe he took an upset win last week over, I want to say, LMC? Maybe something like that. It was either LMC or Parth or somewhere similar like that. Another top 100 ones player. So he's a really, really solid player. But unfortunately today, the showcase is a little bit less about him and more about Omar. Because Omar, like I said, he's number 6 on the planet right now. He's been grinding like crazy to try and get that rep up. And it's really starting to show as he scores 1 here with about a minute and a half gone. So we got 3 replays between the two of these guys. This is the only footage you can really find of Omar right now on ballchasing.com. So, and if you guys don't know what I do with ballchasing.com, I've explained it in previous videos, but basically these players have the option to upload their replays through Baka's mod as Omar tries to go for the triple flip reset and fails miserably, so Spider's going to be able to take it the other way. But, yeah, through Baka's mod, you have the option to automatically upload a lot of your replays to ballchasing.com, and Spider does that for pretty much every one of the games that he plays. So, thankfully, because of him, Omar is finally going to have some footage out there of him playing some 1v1s, because besides the actual footage on his channel of him playing 1v1s with his own commentary, which I highly recommend you guys go check out, show some love to Omar if you can. But besides that, there really isn't a lot of footage of Omar out there. So, there's, or at least in 1v1s, I should say, there is some 3v3 footage, because he has played, in a plethora of different tournaments and events, such as the field, and as well as he's going to be playing in the Game Time tournament, which may or may not be over by the time this comes out, because I'm planning on releasing the video between apparently Jack and Daniel before this one. So if this one comes out in the next week and it's not December 1st yet, please go check out and see if Omar, or please go check out the Game Time tournament and watch Omar when he plays in that with the Matones. But regardless of that, Omar is, yeah, not a player that we've seen a lot of 1v1 footage, as he takes a great juke through the midfield and then pops it into the side. But at least personally, I have not seen a lot of 1v1 footage of Omar out there as of recent. Besides that, there is actual footage of Omar in 1v1s just overall, but the last official footage we have is a show match on JohnnyBoi's channel, which was from February, I want to say. So it's been about 8 months or so, 8 or 9 months since we saw Omar in a 1v1 scenario. I haven't seen him on, personally, I have not seen him on the Team Meteor 1v Wednesdays yet, which I'd love to see him be a part of, but as it stands right now, just nothing from him quite yet. So we're hoping in the future that, or I'm hoping, I should say, in the future that I'll be able to see some, we see some in-person action from him. But, for right now, I'm happy to watch some of this footage because, like I said, he's got footage in the past. Ooh, out of JohnnyBoi stream as he makes a fantastic save on the line. And it's been impressive, but at the same time, he's also had some inconsistent results there. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he went 2-1. He's played players like Mile, I think Lion Blaze, and then one against Gengar, if I'm not mistaken. But if not, definitely go and correct me if you need to. And additionally to that, go check out JohnnyBoi's channel and go watch the show matches that Omar has been a part of. But here today is some of the more recent footage. All of this, I believe, was during November, at least late October at the latest. Oh my word, as Omar takes as much time as he can on the line to wait for this save. But yeah, Omar has really improved as a 1v1 player and just improved as a player overall. His recent results, both in 3v3 tournaments, 1v1 tournaments, and just as a player, have been extremely impressive. So he's done a great job so far. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he won Division 3 for the field with his team. I don't think he was with the Matones at the time. He might have been still with Brooklyn, but either or. He still had a very impressive 3v3, I guess, let's call it blooming, I guess is the best word I'll use, as of late. And it's really, really been impressive. That's the best way I can put it, as he scores a 6 goal off of Spiders, a little bit of an over-aggression on the other half of the field. But yeah, he's played fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Omar as a content creator as well as a player, so I hope to see big things from him in the future. And again, not to just sort of, praise Omar alone. Spider really is another one of those players who he's put in so many hours lately. I would not be surprised to see him as a consistent 1v1 contender for the next couple of years. I think he's got some minor improvements he's got to work on, especially his positioning on the field. As you see, he cheats up a little bit too much to Omar, who has all the possession and all the boosts in the world, and that, as a result, is going to tilt Spider out of the match. 3-7. First match is going to conclude with a very dominant victory out of Omar here. And really, just to show you guys what I mean when I say that Spider has the potential, but it doesn't have the positioning quite yet. We'll watch this back from the kickoff. Watch as Spider sort of is just a little bit too aggressive here with this one. You see Omar gets the first touch, and rather than trying to wait to the back half, he's got no boost, tries to steal the boost from Omar or demo him, and as a result, instead of just going back and trying, he just kind of challenges it. And so Omar's got an open net to go upon, and again, this just sort of goes back to the positioning sort of stuff. He does, that was actually the previous goal, so I guess the scenario really works twice in a row here. We'll see Spider do, I believe it's the exact same thing. This time he's got boost, but he gets close to the ball, sees Omar pick up the 100, and then just kind of dribbles under the ball again. You knew that Omar had more boost than you. You knew you couldn't cheat up. And then again here, Omar's got 100. What are you doing cheating up in that position? I mean, unfortunately for Spider, it's just some awkward plays out of him. I don't think it's something that he can't fix, but as it stands for right now, it's going to give him the loss versus Omar. And we'll switch into the next match here as I transition back to the screen. Hello, all of you folks again. But yeah, he's a... Omar's a very solid player, so is Spider. Nothing to take away from Spider, but Omar has just been in an absolute grind and a tear recently in ranked 1v1s, which has gotten him up to 6th. I think for a moment last week, he was top 5 North America, or top 5 world, and I think he was number 2 NA, because Lion Blaze has been on a just ridiculous tear. It's not even funny how incredibly, incredibly good Lion Blaze has been in 1v1 lately. Although, I'm not going to, I guess this will be kind of a spoiler. Well, not really a spoiler. It's been long enough. Today, he did just lose to Mile in the 1v1 for Smug, where he lost 4-0, and that was... brutal is almost an understatement there, but regardless of that, he's a solid player, and another solid player behind him is ElOmarMaton, and we will not take any more time, because I know that I always spend way too much time in between replays talking about random BS that doesn't matter, so we'll move on and get into the next series, as we got Spider and Omar again back at it. Like I said, Spider's got all of the replays here today, so big shout out to him for providing us all of this new and updated footage of Omar, and it looks like he's going to get the first goal of the series here. That he will. 0-1 it becomes with about 15 seconds gone, and it's really an impressive thing all around out of both players here to be able to play at this high of a level for 1v1. Again, even if Spider isn't showing the most impressive results here, he's still a very, very good 1v1 player, and nothing should be taken away from him. And to have to force a save like that out of Omar, it really shows something. Omar, great play on the line. We have a bit of a hiccup. And not as good of a play on the line from Spider. Spider can have an awkward play here around, I guess, the final third of his half. Part of the reason I think that Spider has so much difficulty against Omar is Omar's a very efficient player when it comes to his offense. He's really quick to the ball, and I mentioned this in my video between Daniel and Appjack, where I think that American 1v1s is really aggressive in comparison to European 1v1s, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Spider is from Belgium. So this is another one of these across-the-pond plays where it's a East player versus a European player, but Spider's thing is he's a little bit more reserved, and unfortunately gets an explosive offense like Omar, where he's just not going to give you the time to even get out of your own half, as he makes it a 2-1. The issue is that it doesn't always match up perfectly for people who are playing a little bit more reserved. That's kind of the American style. It's in your face, it's aggressive, and it's loud, and that's the best way to put it. And Spider, I mean, he's not a bad player, but his defense is just not used to players that are just going to completely suppress him. And that's exactly what Omar's doing here. Although at the moment, Omar's trying to be a little bit of a cheeky bugger there as he takes the boost in the corner without it even popping up. He's doing a great job of suppressing the boost out of Spider right now. But Spider, oh, I thought he was going to pick up that one in the corner. He does not. Omar's got him in a tight position here, and he knows it. He got the demo? How on earth did he get the demo out of that as well? Really well played out of Omar now, and 3-1 it becomes. Only a minute and a half gone here. I mean, my word, really just a lot of this is really a showcase for Omar. I mentioned that I wanted to do a showcase on him, and this is sort of a blend between a matchup between the two and a series and a showcase, but really this is more meant to be a showcase for Omar, to put out some modern footage of him and show the world that he still is one of the premier 1v1 players on the planet, and that not only is he a premier 1v1 player, but he's gotten better as time has gone on. Oh my word, how do you read that off the backboard, or off the crossbar? Omar puts away his 5th now. 5-1, 3 minutes left here. So, and again, this is like not the most impressive showing for Spider for sure, but man, has he been a solid player before, so I don't suspect Spider to go down easily here. I definitely think he's still got some potential to try and bring this one back, but he's got about 3 minutes to do so, so we'll have to see what he can do here. Good 50 against Omar, but he's got no boost. Again, Omar doing a good job of starving the boost, and a demo like that is almost inevitable. Spider's got to really rethink his strategy here. I feel like he's just not matching the pace of Omar as it stands right now, as Omar scores his 6th one, puts it away. 250 left in this one, but yeah, it's just a matchup of a change in style between the two players. The matchup just doesn't really work all that perfectly for Spider, it seems, as Omar, look at that, he's flying out of nowhere to just try and put this into Spider's half. He loves the suppression offense where he just continually puts pressure. The only issue is what you just saw there. American 1v1 player love that offense because if they play perfectly, it absolutely demoralizes and crushes their opponents. But if you make any mistakes when you're playing such a high-octane offense and defense, it really is accentuated to a degree well not seen before, as Spider does not put in his 3rd goal. He misses that one wide. That's unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, really for Omar, his thing is not necessarily about flash as much as it's about, you know, taking risky plays over and over again, as, ooh, he gets stomped on the line. Spider with a great save there, but yeah, Omar is he's an all-or-nothing sort of player, and I've seen that a lot in his streams, and I don't think that it's a bad thing necessarily, but it's just, you know, the sort of style of play. I think that Daniel plays very similarly. I would say that, to a degree, First Killer plays somewhat similarly, but I really wouldn't chalk it up to that. A couple other top 100 players I would mention that play somewhat similarly. I think Zapatos plays a little bit like that. iRicky plays a little bit like that. LMC to a degree. Parth a little bit to a degree. I'm trying to think of some other like more top 10 players that most of you guys would know, but unfortunately a lot of them are European and don't really do that, so there's not a ton of examples. But yeah, a lot of the American 1v1 players, I think even AJ to a degree, but I mean that's not even really fair to say because AJ's got just such stellar defense all around. And as I'm talking about the stellar defense from all these players and all of the aggression from these players, all of a sudden Spider's brought this one back a little bit. 6-4 it becomes now. Minute 40 left here, and again, if I'm not mistaken, Spider was down 5-1, 6-1. Trying to remember the exact amount, but yeah, it's a great comeback here out of Spider. Ooh, that could be set in stone here. That's an open net. Omar, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. That was filthy. Fakes like he's gonna shoot to the right side, does not touch the ball at all, and slow dribbles it into the middle. My word, Omar just a very heads-up player. I mentioned previously that he had been a guy who had played 1v1s for a long time, doing show matches on JohnnyBoi's channel, but it's been a while. But a lot of that is still to his advantage. He's a player that absolutely... Okay, I thought he missed that at first. Whew! 8-4 becomes. The forfeit going to come out here. That's going to be the end of that one. Spider, it says he's had enough of that one as Omar dominates him for a 2nd game in a row. Again, impressive play out of Spider, but Omar is Omar. He's just one of the best players on the planet right now for 1v1, so really impressive stuff out of him. But... as I was saying, Omar's got that IQ. He really does have an IQ for ones that's just unparalleled in comparison to a lot of other players. I mean, is that the right word? Yeah, I guess unparalleled is the right word. But yeah, he's one of those players that's got an incredible IQ for ones, and it really shows in a lot of the ways that he plays because his challenges are timed very well. Despite the all-in challenges, if he messes them up, you know, he messes them up, but he's great at putting them on at the right time to continue his pressure. So we'll see how that goes as we transition into what will be our 3rd game and our final game here. Oh, I apologize for the bar at the bottom. I'll try to... We'll take a quick cut. Here's where we're going to start from, as otherwise I might have spoiled the series just a tad there. I apologize. We'll try to make a quick little cut in the edit so that you guys don't even see that. But here we go. We're back to it. This one going to get flung on target. And we're going to see how this one goes for Omar as he's already in defense. This is a little bit different out of Spider. Look how aggressive Spider is being here. This is, whew, that's a different play out of Spider. I ain't seen nothing that aggressive out of him in a while. Impressive play out of Spider to start this one off. 1-0 now. Omar, you're going to have to play from your back heel now. This is something we have not seen out of Omar before. As Spider lets rip a shot that almost goes through. You got to take this boost from Omar. That you do. It's a really good play here. Omar, be careful. You might get demoed. Spider wanted the demo, but 2 bumps on him and not a single explosion happening. That is so unfortunate for Spider there. And now you can see Spider a bit ticked off because of the demos and goes for an aggressive challenge at the midfield, which Omar is unfazed by. What a shame for Spider after coming out in this game so effectively. He messes up once and then just sort of throws caution to the wind as he tries to regain that pressure on Omar. And what a shame, what a shame. But, again, still a long series ahead of us. 4 minutes left here. Omar, what can you do to try and slow down this new and aggressive Spider here who's going to obviously, yep, go for the bump? But that's not on target. Spider, you got to get this one in, my guy. This is a great opportunity. There it is. Okay, my word, that had me nervous. That's probably the best way I can put it. Just over and over again, shots at net that almost making it through. This is a very different level of Spider play than we had seen previously. Oh, but it's not going to last long. That lead already suppressed here as Omar gets a good read off the kickoff. And now it's 2-2 here. 4 minutes left in this series. Let's see what they can do. Not much for Spider at the moment as he's lost the boost and does not have the ball here. Again, Spider playing very aggressively. He's in his face this time. Omar getting bumped in the corner here. Spider just making him waste some boost as he takes it back to his own half. This is such a different play out of Spider than I had seen previously. I'm a huge fan of this. It's not only entertaining to watch, but I can just tell that it's from Omar, from what I've seen of Omar, this would piss him off to no degree here. This would irk him to just be continually bumped over and over again, and for good reason. That's such an annoying style of play out of Spider in all the best ways possible, as he's just giving no room to Omar here. But Omar, he's still, oh wait a minute, he's not going to walk away with the goal here, so maybe the tilt really did come alive in this game, as Omar is not playing to his usual standard right here. You can see him being a little bit reserved against what is an overly aggressive Spider, but man, if you've got aerial control like that, who cares how earthed you're going to be? Omar puts one in through a fantastic air dribble. 3 minutes left here now. 2-3 it becomes. It's one of the closer series we've seen out of the two of these guys so far. And sort of to give you guys context on the series that I did pick here, Omar and Spider have played either 5 or 6 times, something like that, from the recordings that Spider had. I just picked the 3 most recent so we could see the most up-to-date and impressive Omar, so that you guys could really, see the plethora of his skills. So I did not pick these based on how close they were or how, impressive of a match it was or anything like that. I straight up just picked these based on what was the most recent, so we could watch the most recent gameplay between Omar and Spider. As Omar lets rip... I'm kind of speechless there. That was such a dinky shot. It went in, though. Didn't need to be powerful, as Spider was completely out of position, not expecting the shot at all. And, oh, that was awkward. I don't know. This has been a very weird match in comparison to the first 2 we saw. I don't know. It may just be me looking from the outside in thinking this looks differently. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion in the comments if you believe that this really truly was a different match than the first 2. I'd love to know, because to me this just looks so different than the last 2 matches as Omar scores a demo then a goal. This looks a lot more aggressive, but also a lot more awkward at the same time, because it seems like Spider's playing a style that he's not necessarily used to, which is forcing Omar to play a little bit more hesitantly, which leaves him in these more awkward positions more often. But regardless of that, it still does seem like Omar's got the adjustments necessary as he goes around to try and score this one. Great defense out of Spider, though, to stop that. And if Spider can let a rip here, he will not. He decides to dribble it instead. It's an awkward decision out of Spider. Again, this game just looks so much different than what we had seen previously out of Spider and Omar, as Omar gets the flip resets and then flicks the ball to the top of the goal and out. I mean, this is such a weird game out of both of these guys. Spider playing so much more aggressively, and I think it's working out for the better a little bit for him as he gets it to 3-5, but at the same time, Omar just looking so much different than what we had seen previously. Regardless, though, a great game out of Omar still, and this is probably the most impressive I've seen Spider play out of these 3 series, as he goes for a backflip, wants to, again, break down the play. You can see the tendencies, though, of Spider as he goes for these slower plays starting at midfield, where he could be just ripping shots on net and trying to get Omar in that awkward position continually, but he decides not to, and unfortunately, I think it's going to come back to bite him, as Omar is going to slowly slide this one in as he's got all the boost and time in the world here. 1:15 left, and again, I don't think that Spider has played bad in this series. Do not take this as me saying that Spider has played poorly in this series. I think he has played fantastic in the 3 games that we have watched, but this is definitely the best game he's played, and it's because he switched up his style so drastically. He looks a lot more aggressive here, and it's putting a lot more pressure on Omar, not allowing him to stunt on Spider as much as he had done previously. But again, these dribbles out of Omar, or excuse me, out of Spider, they're not looking all that effective right now. I'd like to see Spider try and switch this up, maybe take some banger shots on net when Omar's out of position, like Omar just did on him to end the game. And again, for the 3rd game in a row, we've got a forfeit out of Spider as Omar takes a 6-3 victory. And man, I mean, listen, again, Spider, you played fantastic here today, but Omar is just one of the most elite 1v1 players in the scene right now. He's done a great job of coming back to the 1v1 scene with some force. So, yeah, congratulations to Omar on winning these games. Congratulations to him on making the top, what was top 5 in North America, or in the world, but definitely top 5 North America right now. He's at least in the top 10. I believe he's 6th right now, something similar like that, 6th or 7th or something like that. So really, really impressive player. Congratulations to him on getting that far up. And again, to Spider, thank you for uploading these replays, my guys. I know that it must be a little bit hard to have to watch yourself get beaten down here in 3 replays from Omar, but again, you are an impressive player. I've seen you play in person before, and you have been a very impressive player, so take that with pride, and thank you for uploading these replays as always. I'm going to put the links to both of these guys in their Twitch and everything so you can support them down below. I think Spider has Twitch, or maybe he's got a Twitter. I'll link whatever he's got, but definitely go check out Omar on Twitch. Go check out Spider on Twitch and Twitter, depending on which one I end up linking, because I'm not sure which one he's more active on. But yeah, please go show these guys a lot of support. And thank you guys. I will definitely be back with some more 1v1 content soon, so keep an eye out. Oh, and before I forget, again, if this is uploaded before December, go check me out in all of my live content. I'm doing the game time circuit, which is going to have Omar in it. He's playing with his team. He's playing with the Matones. So go check that out. Please do go watch me in that. And as well as I'm always doing 1v1 casting for Team Meteor on 1v Wednesday. So please go check out both of those. I guess I'll drop links to those channels in the bottom. So if you want to see them live, please do. But yeah, besides that, thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I am Bass from the Past, signing out.